Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I'm so excited to watch Jussie Smollett. I'm lying. I'm not that excited. I'm really actually dreading it, but I feel like we gotta hold this guy accountable, because what's so crazy about this interview you're about to watch is how these like Hollywood friends of him just ignore the facts, the fact that he was found guilty, and are just like, yeah, dude, let's just keep spitting your nonsense. Oh, you're gonna put me in a movie? Yeah, dude, I'll say whatever you want. Can you put me in your next movie too? Hollywood is the worst, and you're about to see the witness of it, and I'm so excited to react to it with Pascal's back for the Pascal Show, as well as It's Kim. Welcome, you two. How are you both doing?
Doing good.
Hey. Yeah. What's up, party people? How you doing?
So you already watched this, sir. You got to watch this amazing interview. I watched a lot of it last night. And what was your overall take, I guess, before we start watching the breakdown? Were you as equally frustrated as I am? I guess we should before we even get the reactions, so people don't even know who's Jussie Smollett. Let's do a breakdown of that before I even ask your reaction. Jussie Smollett was accused of faking a hate crime. He got away with it. And then the media and everybody, Kamala Harris, everybody, Elliot Page, we're all like really standing up for Jussie, and just, I think a lot of us were. We're like, oh my God, this is horrific. And then more information came out, and more information came out. And then the guys who did it were like, yeah, we're his buddies, and he paid us to do it. And then there was proof that there was payments. Oh, they were just my trainers. I was going to Subway in the middle of the night. Like, everything just started to unravel as this guy's story just made no sense. He was caught tightening the noose when he went back up into his apartment. I don't care what he tells me, the evidence, just like we've learned in the Johnny case, versus the woman who she's in I know the first name's in my title, but I'm trying my best. Moving forward, she's like Voldemort to me, unless we really got to report on something with her. I refuse to keep saying her name, because that's what she wants. But that woman, you know who I'm talking about, that woman, just like that woman, he's pulling out, similar playbook, I feel like. A lot of denying and just playing like nothing happened, surrounding himself with sycophants who are just going to say, yes, man, whatever you want. And it really frustrates me, because, again, he tried to get away with it, and then he got cocky, and then people were like, whoa, how'd he get out so fast? What, it just got wiped? And then the city of Chicago was like, nah, no, this is an embarrassment. This cost a fortune. We're going to pursue this. And then boy, did they ever, and it blew up, and he lost. And then in front of it was very clear by the judge, who I thought was really good in that whole thing. It was over. It was done. No one bought it. No one bought his nonsense, and he was found guilty, and he was sent to jail. But then Sam Jackson and so many other people stood up for him, because I guess, again, really, he keeps screaming, I'm black, I'm gay, I didn't do this, so I couldn't have done this. And then suddenly he's free. He gets 6 days in prison, doesn't even serve his damn time. Before he goes to prison, I'm not suicide. They're going to kill it. This dude is a mess. I'm sorry. He's taken zero accountability. He lied, and he's trying to play it like he did nothing wrong. And so here he is now doing his first interview after only serving 6 days of what was it supposed to be, Pascal? Do you remember how long the sentence was supposed to be? Like a year?
Oh, man. I think it was like, no, I think it was something less than a year.
A few months, right?
Yeah.
I think it was only a few months, but I think it was like 4 months, something crazy like that. Nothing. I mean, still a day in prison is still a day in hell, but still,
right.
At least 6 months, if I'm correct, off the top of the dome. Oh, and also, let's not forget, he did say that he was the gay Tupac too. Let's not forget that.
Oh
too.
God, I can't forget that.
Okay, the gay Tupac. Yeah. So,
he did. He really did say it.
Don't know that? Kim, you don't know that? He said he was the gay Tupac, man. Okay, so after all this BS went down, right? He was up on stage. He was performing his music. How fitting, okay? But he was up there doing a show, performing his own music, and I guess a lot of people were out there supporting him because of what happened. A lot of all of us were like, oh my God, what happened to him was terrible, right? Mm-hmm. We all lean on the good for what we know right off the bat, right? So everyone shows up. Everybody and their mama show up to his performance. And as he's sitting there doing this big old speech about what had happened to him, saying like, I'm strong, I'm resilient, I won't back down, et cetera, et cetera. He gets on the mic. You could see he has like a moment of hesitation. Then he says, I'm the gay Tupac. And then everyone's like, yeah, like they didn't even know how to even react to it, that he was saying that he was the gay Tupac. I don't know. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, it's just, this guy is so full of ego. Like you can just, and you'll see it throughout this interview, just how high he thinks of himself. And his family thinks of him. And it's really sad because, again, I'm sorry, he's going to label conspiracy theories, and the whole city was out for him, which I just don't believe. They didn't. They put all the resources to actually solve the crime, and then the evidence came in, and you were the one who did the crime, dude. You were caught, and he refuses taking accountability. And this interview is just so frustrating because he went in with friends. Sway is literally just couldn't have done more of a softball interview with this guy and just let him play like, oh yeah, you were wronged. Oh, what a travesty this was. I know, can you believe it? And anyway, we'll go through it. But Pat, what was your overall feeling? Didn't mean to ask a question and not let you answer it, but I wanted to give people that recap so they know what we're talking about here. But now with the recap out there, what was your reaction just sort of as we're about to watch to prep before we get in there?
I mean, still, it's the same thing as he's still staying. He's sticking to his guns. He's sticking to the same narrative. It hasn't really changed. In fact, I mean, you'll see in the interview, does he answer anything? Does he actually say, here's what really went down? He doesn't even go into details at all about what really went down. But then it's also about Sway. And of course, I got my own personal opinions about the actual interviewer, not the interviewee. The person who's actually giving the questions. Yeah, I got some thoughts about this, y'all.
Oh, well, I mean, before tee up just a quick thought. What is your? I mean, I got my own thoughts. I remember Sway back from MTV days, right? That's her MTV Raps and stuff is when he was on there, and that's how I remember Sway. And so he's soft. Like he wants to be that celebrity interviewer guy and not make any enemies is the vibe I've always gotten from Sway. But please illuminate me if there's more stuff I've missed.
I just think that I think that Jussie is in a room filled with friends, and that's it. It's people who believe him, not someone who's actually trying to interview him, throwing in other questions, having a little bit of pushback. You don't have to be an ass, right? You don't have to be a jerk. All right, going after Jussie. Everybody in the world has their thoughts, but there are ways you can ask these questions without making it seem like you're just straight up attacking the guy. But there's no questions like that. He asks a few questions that it's almost like they're just hanging out, having some cocktails in Sway's kitchen, chilling in the cut, and they're just he's speaking amongst friends instead of going, okay, here are the opposing views of what the rest of the world is thinking. Can we go back to that moment? But like I said, y'all will see this interview for yourselves, and and you tell me, you know what I mean? In my mind, I go, how Sway the entire time.
Some are mad I called him soft. I haven't watched a lot of his interviews, but I think he was very soft in this interview. Exactly what you said. He was a friend. He wasn't an interviewer. He didn't ask any hard questions. He didn't do any single things. And in fact, at one point, you're going to see it. Jussie even's like, well, you're not going to see me doing a lot of other interviews because he knew he was in with friends. And so it's just a frustrating place. And I mark my words, Andy Damas, I'm waiting for Amber Heard to do the Kathy Griffin interview. Whoever else is supporting her, that's who she's going to start talking to next to start putting the positive spin on things. People who are complete Amber supporters. She's going to drop on a podcast and just amongst a friendly and do this exact same move. I assure you it'll happen because she can't help herself. And someone who believes her is just going to give her that platform. And it's going to be so frustrating to watch when you see someone who's lying not get any pushback. So here we go. Here's the question. First question from Sway. How is your spirit?
My spirit is in such the season of gratitude. Okay. Like my spirit is, I've never felt more clear. Mm-hmm. I've never felt more.
Okay, he's about to, and I got to start and stop a lot. So Sway's people why are you wearing the hat? If you can't, he's literally going to grab his headphones 100 times, take a shot every time he does it. Dude, put it over the hat or take the dumb hat off because you look so stupid constantly shifting around. Anyway, sorry. It's going to annoy you. Just wait.
Sober. I've never felt more I hope people don't take that out of context, but I'm sure they will.
Right.
What he just did right there proves how much he thinks about himself. You know what I mean? Like he just caught himself saying, "I'm sober." Oh, they're already gonna jump on me on that. He's every word he's saying is being thought about before it speaks out. So this isn't a man who's actually thought or learned everything. This is a man who's clearly every word has meaning, and then he wants to make sure he's spun it for you a certain way. There's so much calculation in the words that he chooses. Do you get that vibe as well, Pascal, when you watched it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this whole thing to me is, I feel like he's putting on an act this whole time. He knows that he's in a room full of friends. He can be a little bit comfortable. He can say whatever he wants without any type of backlash, at least in that room. Everyone in there is Team Jussie right now. Everybody. Yeah.
But, about to follow
you know
up
what
that
I'm saying?
one.
Yeah. But I've never felt healthier and more grateful and I've never felt more blessed than I feel now. So my spirit is really good. I'm still dealing with things, still, having to, I'm not shy to say that I am in therapy, as we all should be, because a lot of stuff that happened over the last 3 years, obviously, but also just life stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to train your mind and not just train your body, to be healthy and to be beautiful. So I'm really I'm getting out of the idea of trying to convince or trying to hope that people see the truth of something or something like that. And I'm really I'm going where the love is. And that's why I'm here. You won't see me everywhere. I'm not doing a lot of press, but it's like I'm going where the love is. And why shouldn't I?
Right there.
There it is. I'm going where the love is. Sorry, I'm going to mimic how ridiculous this dude looks with my Nicolas Cage hat and my... Dude, put it on over the hat! Or take off the hat! But there he just said it, right? It's so annoying. He's like, I'm not doing any other interviews unless they clearly are going to give me softballs. Kim, are you surprised by that?
I mean, not really. Not really. I think it would do better for his image to be able to answer questions, because I think that's the thing, is we all want to know, like, if this really is not a hoax, like, explain it. Explain, please.
Explain!
Explain! Because, like, honestly, I feel like that Vine about Arkansas and Kansas just yelling at him in the sense of just, like, people wanted to believe him so badly. They wanted to support him because hate crimes happen and it's horrible. And we need to stop it. And this just hurt that whole thing so much. And it's like, you have an opportunity to clear the air. You have the opportunity to, give out some of this positivity into the world that you're saying you're so full of and you're so grateful and there's all this good stuff in your spirit and everything else. But when you speak, it just comes out empty because it doesn't feel truthful. And that's my frustration. And also, I'm just going to say to any of my Canadians in the chat right now, does that hat not remind you of Red Green?
I don't know what it is, but I believe you.
There's a Canadian show called Red Green Show. Andy, seriously, if you have a second, look it up. Look up Red Green, and tell me I'm wrong.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Why should we subject?
All right, hold on. He's like, is that a fisherman? There he is.
Oh, wow. Oh,
yeah, totally.
Good call.
What a weird. Why is he wearing that hat? What a weirdo.
Is he like a Mr. Rogers?
I don't know.
No, he's like he's an outdoorsman Canadian guy out in the woods. He fixes everything with duct tape. His motto is, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.
Oh wow! So he's like an overly neighborly Bear Grylls.
He's a super Canadian stereotype. Super Canadian stereotype.
Well,
there's like Jussie, a whole thing on.
He's like a nice person, because clearly like Jussie's like trying to get those vibes of like, I'm just your regular guy. I can fix it.
No, Red Green's a nice guy, but it's like they have like a thing, like they have a man's meeting where all of the men, all the outdoorsy men all come together and they recite like the men's prayer or something like that. It's literally like, I'm a man, I can change if I have to, I guess. And
wow. So there's a subtle, like he's trying to emulate that clearly. Wow.
What?
Exclusive. Kim exclusive. Dropping the fact.
Canadian culture, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, as if I didn't think it was goofy enough. All right, well, here it continues. The goofiness is about to continue. I will mimic the stupid headphone adjusting throughout.
Subject ourselves to unnecessary pain or salaciousness or whatever. It's like, that's why I come home to family.
Jussie Smollett. I'm curious.
You choking up, Sway? You crying?
Yeah, I'm wavery right now, Jussie. Tapped into a chord right there or something. But you know,
He wasn't at all. Like Jussie's like trying to make it seem like he was.
I'm always concerned. I'm always concerned with our people, and specifically, I'm always concerned with you. And I know this.
When he says "our people," is that what does that mean? The black people? Is that what he's implying?
Yeah, he's talking about the black community for sure.
I just sort of makes. Sorry, I'm ignorant as a white person. I guess I didn't.
You don't want to assume.
This field we work in can be heartless. It could be ruthless.
It can be alienating.
It could be
You have
alienating.
all these people around you, but it's very, very alienating.
I mean, it is for let's be clear. Hollywood cuts everybody. Hollywood is the most just a disgusting place. So they're not wrong, but
and you know, when something like, you know, we all know what happened. Well, we don't all know what happened, but we all know the scandal around it.
Around the court case.
Right.
Yes.
I'm so, it sounds so odd, but Lord knows if I could go back and never go through any of this and never have my family or my close people to me ever have to experience what we've experienced, Lord knows that I would make sure that you know, happened. But and that we never went through what we've gone through.
So he wouldn't lie. Is that a subtle admission that he finally like, yeah, I shouldn't have made up these lies.
This is just yeah. I have
You're so frustrated.
got so many thoughts that are racing through my mind right now.
Just scream pause if you want at any point, and I will pause it for you.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I appreciate that. Thank you. But first off, he said something earlier about saying, "Oh yeah, you know, well we all know we don't all know what had happened." Then say what happened, then, man. Then say what happened. Tell us the truth. Get straight to the point. Stop saying, "Oh, you know, this is, you know, everybody doesn't know what happened, so on and so forth," and just leave it at that. That does not help your argument. That doesn't help your cause. That doesn't help everything that you've been putting out here. Say what you need to say so we can move on and believe you or not believe you. But tell us actually what went down and stop just tiptoeing around this. Okay, stop. The other thing, though, too, I also have to say this, though, too, is what's the reason why he's on this show to begin with? What's his reason for it? Is it because of this movie that he just directed, that he has coming out soon? Is that what he's trying to do here?
Probably.
I mean, it's like,
or he's hoping that he can like get, you know, maybe some sympathy and brownie points because
Right.
I mean this isn't over. This case is not over.
no. And of course he's on like a redemption tour. You know what I mean? And it's almost like he's just trying to talk about it right now amongst his friends on Sway in the Morning, or Sway's Universe, I guess it's now called. But and he's just trying to say what he needs, like say this. So he's like, okay, I addressed it, move on. It's like the Kevin Hart thing. Like, I already apologized. Let's move on. I ain't going to talk about it again.
Yeah.
Let's move on. And this is exactly what's happening right now. It's like, oh, perfect opportunity for him to get, as Andy said earlier, a bunch of softballs thrown at him. You know what I mean? Just soft questions that he can just nail, just knock right out the park without any pushback. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Sway should be asking right now, then what happened, man?
Yeah.
Tell us the truth. Tell us your version of the truth, because clearly we all know you lied through your damn teeth. But tell us the truth. What went down? You know, was it these muscle-bound dudes that you used to have a romantic relationship with and paid a couple $1,000 to stage this hoax? Or was it really two guys wearing MAGA hats, throwing bleach on you, throwing this rope around this skinny ass rope around
which
your
let's
neck?
point out, he's literally wearing a hat that, and people in the comments have already said it looks like he's already like trying to emulate it again right now. There's almost like a subtle, you know what I mean? Like that red-green hat has like the tightening why? It's just such a weird choice. You know what I mean? Like, why? It almost like, doesn't it seem like he's like in the white shirt? Like, it's like there's a choice there of like, yep, I got it around my neck again because society is still doing like they're just it's all like everything to this guy feels like he's just trying to symbolism. You know what I mean? Ugh.
It's like premeditated.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's all premeditated. What's going on his face right now, and or around his face right now. But that's the problem here. And what's frustrating is that there's still a community. Clearly, there's a community that still believes he's telling the truth.
Well, and it's right here. Sway's and Sway's co-hosts are giving him that platform.
There's a guest that comes on later on.
Yeah.
One of his friends in support of this. And I'm just like, the madness is deafening. Okay. It's mind blowing.
Well, and again, you're going to get to it. So we'll keep playing, but what the madness is, he's hiring them all somehow. Like he guys still has money. So that's how he's able to pull all this off. And because he's hiring and putting everybody who shows up, all his friends are in his new movie on BET Plus. They've all forgiven him and they're like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah. Oh, you're innocent. Sure. You're going to hire me in my movie. That's how it feels to me. Like and it's so Hollywood. It's a Harvey Weinstein. If you're putting me in movies, yeah, go. I don't care what you do and what crimes you've done. You're hiring me. Cool. I support you. It's literally what it feels like, this whole room.
Part of me that one of my good friends said, you may think now, and he said this probably in like April of 2019, he said, you may look at everything now and think that this is bad, but at the end of the day, you needed to mow your lawn so you could see all the snakes in your grass. Ooh. And sometimes we, and again, it goes back to
dude, you were the snake. I think everyone was so glad you got mowed out of their lawn. What a frustrating use of
Pascal,
like a
I wish I could make you a drink right now.
It's like, get ready, Kim. Because it's like I that line's a great line for someone who actually was wrongfully accused, but he's now going to start playing the wrongfully accused playbook over and over again to play victim, and these people turned on me, and it's so frustrating to watch.
I was saying when I was on the phone with y'all about family is so important to me, so I'm always looking in every space that I'm in to create that sort of same feeling that I get when I'm around my family, that safety, that
of them just never saying no to you and doing whatever you want, like. And you can do no wrong. Is that what you think he means by family? It's the vibe I get.
Yes, people. Yes, people.
Apologetic love, and sometimes it can stab you in your foot. But I'm just so I say it often and I say it a lot, and I'm just like, I think that it's better to say thank you to God, the universe, the ancestors, your friends, your family, too much than to not say it enough.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm not religious, but I'm like offended for religious people and how he's using God to like as a scapegoat. It's like, oh yeah, God believes in me and I'm doing it for God, and I guess therefore he can do no wrong because I know, it's like it is what it is. And for people who believe in God, it really is a helpful, a faith. It's real. Like I support people's religion and faith, but when I see someone like this using faith to be, sneaky like this and cover shit up, it really bothers me. It really bothers me.
Yeah, if I could just say, as someone who was raised in a very religious environment and someone who, I definitely have faith. I wouldn't consider myself to be a religious person, but I absolutely have faith. And I have seen so many people use faith as an excuse to do terrible things and to justify everything. And it's just so ridiculous. It's like, if that's what you have to fall back on because you have nothing else, I have questions.
Well, it's like, that's a danger. I mean, like when you lose somebody, like I understand, like religion can be there as like a sort of as a help way to get there. Like there are ways where I do think religion is there, but I don't want to get into the whole debate about religion. But he's not using it properly. He's not using it properly. He's using it as a prop to justify his actions, and that's despicable. Go ahead, you were gonna say something, Pascal.
No, I just think he's. And by the way, it's Pascal.
Pascal. Sorry, I know. Okay. I keep saying Pascal.
It's okay.
Pascal, like Pedro Pascal. I'll never forget that.
There you go. Good actor. No. What I was going to say is like, no, what he should be saying is that he's thanking God and everybody else, thanking his lucky stars that his ass still ain't in prison right now. real talk.
Yeah.
That he got away with this, basically, that he was in jail for a few days and then he was set free, and that he's able to sit here and continue spouting out these fables, okay, these tall tales. That's what he should be saying, not this other BS. Because, yeah, like I said,
dude, I already had to put my headphones down because it was so annoying. Why is he continuing to do this? I'm telling, as someone who's been doing it this time, he's so fake and forced.
From the depths of my soul, the way that God has brought me through and continues to, you know. So I'm just
oh God, speaking of God, anybody who believes in God should be so irritated with this man's doing, because he's making religion look so stupid and fake, and just everything about it. It's just this over reliance on God pulled me through. God pulled you through the lies.
Y'all will hear me say the words grateful a lot, and I really genuinely am.
Jussie Smollett.
Oh, they keep doing this applause thing.
What's that?
I love this fake audience, y'all.
No, stop. Come on, man.
So telling. He just and again revealed it again. I love people applauding me. Yeah, I could live here. I could live here and say whatever I want, and you'll keep putting the buttons on. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, it feels so real. People love me again. Ah. I mean, is he a narcissist or what?
oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be peeling the curtain back. You're a director. They say nothing about the lighting and B-boy blues. Peeling back the curtain. I would imagine, as I try to put myself in your shoes, a couple of things. You know, you went through a lot of public ridicule. Yeah, from the same people that loved you and uplifted you, are the same folks that did not believe you.
He puts down.
You know, there were a lot of folks who just to this day does not believe your story.
Okay, so here we go. This is like probably the only hardball we're gonna get.
Push back.
How do you rectify that? How did you?
Let me hear my. Look what you just did. Let me hear my own voice.
I don't.
He's like, I ain't got no snares in my headphones, man. Turn the bitch up.
There's a part of me that, you know, when I strip my ego, when I strip my personal.
When do you do that, brother? I don't believe you ever strip your ego
emotions
ever.
About it, and my personal situation, the way that it was served to everybody, I absolutely understand why people felt betrayed. You know, and I put that in my song, "Thank You God," where I was just like, I really overstand the reason why y'all felt betrayed. They had my own people thoughts going off the wall. That's right, from LD to Don. I still got love for y'all, because whatever they thought, they thought, and whatever the way that it was served, But that is also, I didn't know what was happening then. I didn't know how bad it was getting, and I also didn't think, for whatever reason, I genuinely thought that people were gonna be like, there's no way that he did some bullshit like that. You know, I'm just like,
he thought, oh, they're just gonna believe me because it's, you know, why would they not believe me?
But people did, though. At the beginning, people did. And then as the stuff all started coming out, it was like,
we
can't anymore.
Exactly.
And I think that's what bothers me. It's like, if you look at, there's like a video of Elliot Page talking about it on a late night show, just bawling his eyes out like, this is terrible and it's awful. And it's because, like, they have so much concern for people who are being oppressed, and you can feel that it was genuine. It's not that people didn't believe him. It's just ridiculous. I hate hearing that from him, because it's like, oh, where were you? Because I remember.
And also, did he answer really? Did any of that make any sense? Like,
No.
It was word salad at its best. I'm just like, you know.
By the way, Word Salad is on his latest album that's just about to drop. He just mentioned that a little bit ago, you know, including the song that he mentioned, that new track that he got.
So he does
just
a song called Word Salad?
There's a new song called "Words
Oh
Out."
my God! Yeah, and I've noticed he's plugging his music during his like
Exactly.
When the jokes write
is
themselves.
so telling.
Oh my gosh!
Yo, I got a new track about all this actually. Like, Jesus Christ!
Yo, I got this new track though.
Can you imagine you're in an interview trying to justify you've just been found guilty, you're doing all this stuff, and you're like, well, Charlie Rose, I'm really, really distraught, but you can actually listen to my new track where I actually beat this down, and you can buy it over on iTunes. And yeah, I learned a lot.
Yeah,
like,
man.
That's real genuine, right?
Beat This Down. I got another song called "Beat This Down." It's on iTunes, Tidal, Spotify. It's on that album too, bruh. So go check it out.
At least the woman who shall not be named didn't do that yet. You can buy. Yes, thank you, Savannah. You can buy my new song, "Turd Is the Word," over on all iTunes and Spotify. Oh my God, ridiculous! All right, well, let's keep. There's sadly more.
Y'all know me, like y'all know that, and I'm thinking, oh, well, people's history should mean something. So,
again, all calculated. I'm thinking people's history will mean something. Like, I can get away with this, and they didn't believe me. It's like, oh, there's so many little tells in this, and this. I'm so disappointed in Sway. Like, my God, dude, this is pathetic. What a pathetic look to just sit there and give him that mic for the views. I guess he's just trying to be a good, positive guy and support, but I don't know. Don't give him so much credit here.
And it's very interesting when someone lies on you over and over, and then they pull, and you know what is the lie, but then you're forced to acknowledge the truths around the matter as well. And that's really painful as well, because it's easy to just be like, that's a bullshit lie, I ain't do no fucking hoax, fuck that. But then at the same time, then they bring out drug stuff. And then you're like, ooh, I did do that. You're like, ooh, I did do that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and you're sitting there and you're like, but this doesn't have anything to do with what y'all are saying that I did do that I didn't do. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I don't hold anybody.
Notice also, he didn't want to talk about it, but now he cannot stop talking about it.
That's not entirely true.
Okay.
I do hold some people accountable for the things that they said, for the things that they did, for the ways that they reacted, because half of those people should have picked up the fucking phone and called me because they had my number, you know, and they didn't. But I also understand that we sometimes operate off of fear, and that when you're kind of, you know, the whole mission is to alienate you so that you are so just like vibrating in the wrong way, and like all the shit around you is just wrong, that people just have to step back.
The mission? What mission? Pascal, what mission is he trying to allude to here?
I'm confused. I'm sorry. I think he lives in his own little castle in the sky. I don't know. He lives in his own little world. I don't know what this is. The fact that he even said that, then on top of that, he said, oh, it's people operate off of fear. What does everybody have to be scared for? You got caught in a lie, baby. So we are sitting here going, where's the proof? If this is not right, if this is wrong, then tell us. If those things are fabricated, if all that stuff that's come out is a full bold-faced lie, then show us the Carfax, baby. Show us what's the proof. Don't sit here and say, oh yeah, you know, people like to, you know, operate out of fear. What fear? What are we scared of? We ain't scared of nothing, y'all. Like, man, take several seats, man.
Dude, show us the Carfax. Well, that is the line of the day.
I love that. Word. I love that so much.
Word.
Oh, look who's joining. We got another Indiana Jones is here. What's up, Lewis?
What's up? I just came in here to check out the Pascal show. What's up? It's Kim. Andy Signore. I just want to tell everybody, all my supporters out there, have a new album. You know, we're gonna get together.
Oh yeah, me too, man. What's yours called?
Mine's coming together, man. Because you know, we've been here on Earth. We're on Earth.
Here. Oh, I know what yours is called.
Latinx. We came to Earth to make a difference. Okay. And you know, just want to thank everybody out there who believe me. And I remember you. If you didn't call me after my hoax to support, I have a list there.
He keeps a list. Well, that sounds
Keep
awful.
a list. I just want to give a shout out to that certain Aquaman, Scarlet.
Scarlet. Do you even know which word you're supposed to say?
I don't know what I'm saying right now.
The edibles are kicking in.
Oh, a little bit.
The edibles are kicking in.
There's certain Aquaman Scarlet. I'm not correcting him. I want to see if he figures it out himself.
Starlet.
Louis Lecca of Nerd Report. What an entrance.
Dude, I can barely see in this shit.
God, why does he just makes himself more of a joke? This was such a bad, just these people like the Amber, Jussie, they should just stop talking, like take a break.
Oh, hold on. Ezra Miller's calling me. Hold on.
Jesus.
Oh, gosh, no. Got enough mess already, man.
Come to the dark side. That's basically
Ezra
what
Miller,
it's called.
AH, and I are going to go out tonight. We're working on a new album.
Man, that would be a hot single though. We got away with, or we'll get away with it or something. I don't know. There's a good title. All right, let's see what the Jussie keeps.
I don't mind. I don't hold the people to anything that stepped back. I hold the people that went out there and said shit. Mm-hmm. I hold them to something, and not the people that don't know me, but the people that do know me. Fuck out of here. Y'all know better than that.
Yeah.
And y'all did that. That was some PR bullshit. And you know who you are. And I will not name names. And I love everybody, but I don't like everybody.
You clearly don't love these guys. You clearly are, again, caught in a lie.
You don't like
And
everybody.
that's just real.
Jussie Smollett.
Every time Jussie talks, Sway's like, man, Jussie Smollett really just dropping the facts. And she's giving him so much validation. It's really bothering me.
I used to work at a radio station. This is what you call ass-licking interview. That's what you call it.
Is that an actual technical radio term?
Yeah, is that a technical term?
I
Yeah.
just made it up, dude. This is like fucking verbal colonoscopy. He's up his anus so hard.
Verbal,
Please,
wow.
it's crazy, dude.
So basically
What do you think,
tossing.
Pascal?
So you could say like a tossing the word salad.
I was gonna say, make sure you toss that salad. I don't know.
Tossing the
How
word
could they
salad.
How could they sit there with a straight face and do this interview, man? That's a true talent.
Look,
It's
we
a
all
true
got our
talent.
hats. Here we go. The
Oh,
cat,
she got
hat
one.
time.
Kim?
I borrowed it
Entertainers.
from my professor because he had one, so I share.
He took it.
I know Dave Chappelle with one of his specials.
Here we go.
So it was funny to you. You didn't take it personal.
It's so weird because Chappelle crucified him.
Yes, he did.
Crucified him. And so now Jussie's going to like laugh it off like, that was funny. Dude, if you're telling the truth, that shit ain't funny. So nice spin that you're trying to do here. But if I was telling the truth, I wouldn't be laughing at what Chappelle said. I'd be pissed at him. And now he's watch him play it and shrug it off like, yeah, Chappelle's funny.
Oh, no! Oh, edit! No, I mean, what's
So he
funny
said
is
that that wasn't
my nickname growing up was
radio
Juicy.
friendly, I guess.
I'm like, nigga, you taking my fucking nickname? The fuck? But
You can tell he's bothered.
Yeah, totally.
You can tell he's like, oh, you asked that. Oh no, you asked that question, but I gotta keep smiling though. Say, how sway? But yeah, real talk, he hates it. You know for a fact. Look at his face.
I bet she tried to like shut
everything.
it down too. He was probably like, "How do we get this? How do we get Chappelle back?" He seems like that type of person who probably was doing something even more worse behind the scenes. I agree wholeheartedly.
that's a special situation.
There you go.
I don't know how much I should say about that. I will say this. I have seen Dave since.
Oh.
Okay. I have seen Dave since.
God, I hope that makes Dave go on a whole rant. I hope
More material.
I hope someone sends this to Chappelle and we get the truth on that. And because now that he's put it out there, I hope Chappelle calls his ass out, because what does that mean? It's such a weird implication, right? That he's like, Chappelle and I are cool now. That's how I took that.
Okay.
And I didn't run up on no stage like that dude at the Hollywood Bowl.
You didn't do that? That wasn't you?
That wasn't Jussie.
I thought that was okay. So that was in the rumor mill that was Jussie Smollett that did that. Tackled him. No.
I wish someone would have asked, hey, someone said you were in a car chase. That would have been amazing. Wouldn't have been those. Pascal, I don't know if you saw it. On April Fool's Day, we did a stunt where I just found an all LA car chase, and yeah, we made it seem like it was Jussie. And
he robbed the subway.
Yeah. And a lot of people were buying it. It was pretty fun. And then we broke
you
the truth.
Something? I looked at that because I saw the because I'm subscribed to you, so I get notifications anytime you guys post something. And I saw this thing, and I said, "Oh my god!" I literally was searching it. I was like,
like, please be true.
First. And I was like, please let this be true. This is great material.
On April Fool's Day.
And then I went back to you guys, and at the thing, you guys are like, April Fools. I was like, oh my God, that was brilliant.
It was fun.
That was brilliant.
I don't know how we're going to top ourselves.
That was hilarious.
But
man.
I wish someone would have mentioned
Oh,
it.
could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Look. And look, just to be clear, I'm not saying anything about the whole Will things. I want to make that clear before they try to. I'm talking about the Hollywood Bowl thing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, if Will got all that stuff, imagine if I ran up on the stage. They'd be bruh, and you're done again.
And scene.
Damn.
Here's the cherry.
I'm like, yo. So, no.
You and Dave seen each other since.
I've seen him since. And that's all I'm going to say. I mean, there's
I drove by him once and waved, and he ignored me.
I watched Independence Day.
Oh, I'm sure there was words. But
you think they were positive words?
No, not at all. I think it was like you know what I mean, or something. Why you have to say it like that, bro? Something like that. That's what I think. But at the same time, they're not gonna disclose that. You know what I'm saying?
I hope Chappelle does. I feel like he just opened the door for Chappelle to say it.
Yes.
I heard just Juicy on Sway saying that we've talked. Well, I don't know why you're bringing that up, because now that you did, boom. Let's talk about those words. Because I hope he does.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
Yeah, notice he does not give him a shout out.
He did
not give him a shout out. Jussie was like, nope, I'm not going to echo that sentiment.
beautiful video with I Heart Part 5, you know, and there was an interpolation, I guess, that of a facial expression. Your face, your image seemed like it was fused in. What was your thoughts about how did you interpret that?
I haven't seen the whole video, and that's the honest to God truth. Sometimes I don't watch things just so that I can.
I love how he has to say honest to God, because he knows you're not going to believe me otherwise. Honest to God. Otherwise, I know. Honest to God this time, because a lot of times I'm not telling the truth, but honest to God, I am.
Say truthfully that I haven't seen them.
Okay.
I can say truthfully. Like, are there times where you don't say truthfully? Like, what was that? I gotta watch it one more time. What is he implying there?
How did you interpret that?
I haven't seen the whole video, and that's the honest to God truth. Sometimes I don't watch things just so that I can say truthfully that I haven't seen them.
Okay.
What's the
But I
honest
certainly
to
have,
devil
obviously,
truth?
I know about it. And I've seen it. I mean, he's brilliant. So I don't entirely know how to interpret it. I don't know how exactly to interpret it, but I think that he's a phenomenal artist. So I just, I don't really have any personal thoughts about it as much as I think that he's a brilliant artist, and he's that's really all I can say about that.
That's all you can say about that. This guy's been in training, man. Jussie Smollett.
I'm in training myself.
Yeah,
you understand the emotional like discipline
that it
takes to
change
how
myself.
many videos I have in my phone from February of 2019 where I'm just going off and I'm just like, this is bullshit, and y'all know what this is. Why are y'all fucking falling for the banana in the tailpipe in this way? I know that it's like, why now? Why is this so easy to believe? But then of course then you send it to your people and they're like, don't put that out. You're too angry, you're too defensive, you're too this. But looking back, there's a part of me that wishes that I had done what I wanted to do of going out there. I didn't want to do an interview. You know what I'm saying? And
he's just revealing so much stuff when he wasn't even asked, because it all feels like a PR stunt where he was clearly coached with Sway to get these points out, right? I mean, it's so weird. He's coming on the interview, and it's also just very telling. Like, I had all these videos and I was just angry, and no, you're too angry. The performances, right, are what it seems like is being shown here. He's multiple.
And I don't want to get too deep, because I love and respect Robin Roberts. You know what I'm saying? But I did not want to do that interview. That interview wasn't for me. That was for my character.
What do you mean?
Just meaning that. Oh God, how deep do I get? If I'm going to get deep, I might as well get deep with my family.
This is interview. Supposed to be going deep.
Interview or family? Okay, this is not so it's clear. Thank you for explaining the bias here.
Yeah, I have to be very, very honest here in that I found myself, I hadn't watched the interview.
How many times, Pascal, has he said he has to be honest? Like, he keeps reminding himself. Is that a red flag to you?
If this was a drinking game, we'd all be mucked up right now.
Between that and the headphone adjustments, we are smashed right now.
We'd have liver failure.
I mean, it's just weird. Kim, I'm going to go to you. I feel like you're the most honest one of the bunch here. Everyone trusts you, Kim.
Oh, yeah, we're all liars.
Objection hearsay.
But Kim,
no,
is it a red flag to you if someone constantly has to tell you that they're being honest? And
yes.
That's a weird thing to keep saying over and over again, no?
Yes. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, sometimes I do say, if I'm being completely honest, because it's when I kind of strip away my, for lack of a better term, PC filter.
Yes.
Where I try to be polite and understanding and compassionate towards people. I try to approach things with empathy. But there are times when my patience, my compassion, and my empathy are gone. And that's when that honesty comes out of me. But I mean, it doesn't happen very often. But when someone has to say it over and over and over and over again, it's kind of you already know people don't believe you. Why are you trying to be but I'm being honest right now.
Guys,
right now.
I am.
I just really want
Ignore
you to know.
The hat and the
right
noose
now,
around my neck.
Everything
I'm being
else,
honest.
It doesn't matter. But right now, this is real.
Yeah. All the other stuff? Who knows?
That's for my character.
For his character.
His Empire character? Which character, Pascal?
I got another question. Hey, teach, real quick. What the hell does banana in the tailpipe mean?
I think of Beverly Hills Cop.
What?
But Axel Foley puts the banana in the tailpipe.
Oh, thank you. I was like, what the hell does that mean?
I think I even have that Funko Pop back there. Yeah, he puts the banana to stall it. Yeah.
Bananas?
Okay. Now I understand.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a thing. It is. That is the thing. I'm still what's the context of it? Believing the banana in the tailpipe is wrecking the car.
Right.
Block it. It's blocking it. Right. What? It's not a lie. His use of it doesn't make sense. But I knew what the reference meant. But I'm with you, and I don't know. I'm confused on what the context of it means. Why did you say it then?
Is that code for something, baby? What does that mean? I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, but then I also grow. I'm is that a sex thing? I don't know.
I'm not trying to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and it's what do you mean with that? With what you were just saying, that has no connection to what you. This phrase does not make sense in your sentence here.
Correct.
Please make that make sense. Okay.
Make it make sense. That's our saying.
I hadn't watched the interview at all until we were on trial.
Anyone believe that? Does anyone believe he didn't watch his own interview until he went to trial?
That is a bold-faced lie.
I mean, have we seen enough from this interview to believe this guy really doesn't watch the interviews that he does? I mean,
I don't believe that.
I had to watch it during the trial. I didn't watch it before. Not buying it. Not buying it, dude. Mm-hmm. Also, he didn't tell me honestly, so I don't believe him.
I had to watch it.
Unless he tells me he's being honest. Everything he's saying is being dishonest.
I try to use the interview as evidence of lies or whatever. So I had to watch it, and I watched it, and I was mortified. I mean, I was mortified. I mean, I cringed at just every single word that I said in that interview was the truth. But there was a certain level of performative nature that came from it because I didn't want to be there.
Okay, this is the most revealing part for me because he's acknowledging that he was acting. He's acknowledging right now that, I was acting. I was totally not myself during that interview. But everything I said was truthful, but everything and how I said it was all performance. He's now revealing, again, that he's already revealed to us he's dishonest because he has to keep reminding us he's honest. But now he's admitting, I create performances and characters even when I'm doing a genuine interview on television to like defend the truth and defend myself. Like I don't know what how he thinks, and we'll continue in a second. How he thinks this defense is going to help him is like beyond me. But did this surprise you too? As before we get there, Pascal, like this part was so weird that he just admitted he's an actor.
This part I had a field day with, because he literally is saying, "Oh, I was there, and I was putting on a full act." And now he's saying the excuse of the reason why he was doing a performance is because he didn't want to be there. You're telling me you didn't want to be there, yet I'm sure you probably got paid to sit down with her. I'm sure you were more than happy to get in front of a camera and tell your side of the story or to put out these lies. So for me, this part, I feel like he slipped up right here. This is the slip up, I think.
Huge slip up. Let's watch a slip up.
And I was so angry and so offended that I had to go on national television and explain something that happened to me. And it was so political, and it was all of those things. And I found myself dealing with my own internalized homophobia.
Okay.
As an openly gay black man who leads with his blackness.
Dude, this part's so weird. He was dealing with his own internal homophobia. Is now the excuse.
Can you just roll that back?
Yes. Oh, I absolutely.
This is just too good. I'm sorry.
I found myself dealing with my own internalized homophobia.
Okay.
Says the gay man.
Gay black man who leads with his blackness. I found myself dealing with that, and I'm embarrassed and I'm a little bit ashamed to say that, meaning that I wanted to represent all of us that had been assaulted based on who we are.
He wanted to represent. I was doing a performance. I wanted to represent something. All not good things to admit here.
But for the people that didn't have the platform that I had.
I mean, is that not him finally admitting what he did? He's like, but he's not. He's like, this is exactly what he should have said in the beginning. I made this hoax to try to, to stand up for all the black community, the gay community. I wanted to try and help and spotlight it. And yes, I went too far. That's what happened here. He's not saying it, but now he's trying to sneak it in through I was homophobic. My internalized
all of the things that people should hear from people who have been through this. But I also didn't want to be associated with people who had been attacked. I felt like somehow, like I want to play roles. I want to play boxer. I want to play, superheroes and all that type of shit. And then I felt like I'm genuinely sorry to say this, but this is the way that I felt. I don't feel that way anymore, but I know that that's the way that I felt. I felt like I just became a faggot that got his ass beat.
What the hell is he doing here?
So, or at least I felt like that's what people saw me as. And so I was trying so hard to like the posturing of he hit me and then I hit his ass back. And I was just like, oh my God, nigga, what are you doing? You look fucking ridiculous. But everything that I said was the honest to God truth. But it's just the way that it was. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to my people that I felt that way. But that is a part of a bigger conversation that we should probably have at some point.
Yeah.
About the internalized homophobia that we're kind of conditioned with from the moment that we get on this earth, whether you end up being gay or not. And it's something that I feel like a lot of us fight with and grapple with. And in order to explain certain things and explain certain whys, you kind of have to be fully honest with yourself about all of that. And that's just me being honest. So am I ashamed of that I felt that way?
Years ago.
Knock yourself in your
brought me through. To God, the universe.
Sorry.
Oh gosh, it's fine. I need a minute to recover from that. Oh my gosh.
It was juicy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
Sorry, we're
Any videos?
You're trying to go back. I think you were like in 14.
14. Sorry.
Every single word that I said in that interview was the truth.
Yes,
but there was a certain level of, and that happened to me. And it was so political, and it was all of those things, and I found myself.
Are we just so anyway? We're far back, but we get the you get the gist here. Go ahead. All right, Kim, you want to handle you get to react first since you saw we've already seen this. What is your initial reaction? Is that as strange to you as it was to us?
I feel like we need a therapist here.
He does, for sure.
Because there's so many levels to what he just said, and I think absolutely we all do have some internalized, things that we think about certain people or certain groups of people that we were conditioned to believe. I think we all have that to some degree. But I don't know how much that really has to do with this. And I don't understand exactly what this has to do with him not wanting to do an interview. If he didn't want to do an interview, don't do an interview. Because you're not ready. You're not ready to do an interview. Or maybe you should have just posted one of those videos of you going off in 2019 of how you were actually feeling. Maybe you should have just sat down and used your own Twitter account or your own Insta or whatever and just been like, this is what happened. I understand people don't believe me, but this is what happened, and I'm going to go forward. You didn't have to do it on this scale. You could have controlled the narrative yourself. You didn't have to let other people edit you. And I mean, if he did feel that way, I hope he has addressed that and he has kind of made peace with that, because, being a gay black man is nothing to be ashamed of.
I mean,
but I don't see how that has anything to do with him doing this interview. I feel like it's like, well, I'm going to keep you over here, and then I'm going to move you over here and keep you from thinking about what the actual question was. And to me, that's actually very reminiscent of a tactic that a lot of cult leaders use.
Mm-hmm.
That it's like they say something that everyone agrees with, and then they'll slowly change the dialogue to something a bit more radical. And it's like, well, but if you believe me on my first point, you have to believe me on this point. And that's how that type of thinking begins. And I feel like he's using that kind of type of manipulative tactic to be able to try to make his point.
Yeah, well said. I also think you're being a little nice, and I'll just call it out. I think he's completely full of shit, and because he's revealing himself. He just said people were making it political. You said they were wearing MAGA hats. You made this political. Like, of course it's going to get political when you say that. And they were the way you described it. It was just a very political time, and you poured the gasoline on it all, and of course that's going to make it political. You said that. You didn't have to reveal that part of it, but you brought it out. And it's like, it's just so weird. Like, and you watch the video of him when the cops show up. The thing that really shocked me, and I was so glad when the God, it's so hard wearing these dumb headphones. It's so sweaty. But the prosecutor guy, when they played the clip of him tightening the noose around his neck after the fact, that I couldn't unsee that. It was so despicably calculated. Like, who would keep that on their neck and then go home, and then before the cops come, who you don't even want to be on camera, whatever, you get caught tightening it. Like, that's fucking weird. It's so weird, and it just shows how performative and how he really was trying to make this whole an act. And so all of this stuff is yet another act, his phase 2 tour of how he's just trying to justify this all.
Like, I want to play roles. I want to play boxer. I want to play,
he's revealing it. That's what he wants to do. How can I keep playing characters?
And so I was trying so hard to the posturing of he hit me and then I hit his ass back. And I was just like, oh my God, nigga, what are you doing?
What are?
I mean, I
think we're caught up now.
I'm sorry to my people that I felt that way. Mm-hmm. But that is a part of a bigger conversation that we should probably have at some point.
Yeah, I don't want to have that conversation with him. He's not ready.
In order to explain certain things and explain certain whys, you kind of have to be fully honest with yourself about all of that.
Which he's not being
honest. So,
not at all.
Am I ashamed of that? That I felt that way? Absolutely. Do I feel like I'm I'm better than anyone else that has been assaulted?
Yes.
Absolutely not. But at that time, I was just so embarrassed that it happened. I did not want anybody to. That's why when people were just like, "Oh, he did this so that he could get attention," I'm just like, first of all, I've never been a person that looked for attention.
You're an actor.
That's true right there, Kim. That's true. Number one.
No, like I'm not trying to be rude, but it's like when you're an entertainer, when you're whatever type of thing you're doing in entertainment, whether it's music or acting or modeling or commentating or whatever. I mean, we all want attention. If we don't want attention, we don't do this because it would suck.
Facts. Then if he didn't want attention, he wouldn't have done that damn interview in the first damn place. He would have just kept quiet, went back into his cave, licked his wounds, and let the truth come out, or whatever happen. But he clearly, as soon as all this stuff happened, he went up there crying, saying that he's a victim of this type of hate crime, so on and so forth. It's sad. And it's frustrating. I didn't get to say anything earlier, but I wanted to say something that just what he was saying earlier about being, internalized homophobia and being black in America and all that stuff. He is literally trying to, this is the same thing as that woman, trying to hide behind hashtags and labels and literally just spouting out stuff that sounds, if it was under a different context, would sound right. But given the fact that we all know the truth, that this guy was lying, why you always lying? If we thought that he was telling the truth, then maybe what he's saying by hiding behind the, homophobia, LGBTQ plus community, BLM, at that time, or just being black in America, we would all be with it 110%, being like, yes, we're here with you, brother. But all this is just him hiding behind words and slogans and hashtags. It's still him doing that and hoping that that's going to keep him justified out here.
It's the same person over and over. This guy, and Ezra Miller, they're all politically obsessed. They're here on a mission from God to save us all. They speak for everybody. They're all the same person over and over again. Also, I'm not going to get there. I don't want to say it. I'll say it. Didn't the president rush to retweet this? Add fuel to the fire? That's what an idiotic move. I got to say. Remember, he went and retweeted this?
To everybody. it was a lot
for the president's
a lot of liberal
that,
Hollywood. And did it.
He's not Hollywood.
But again, like Lewis,
it seemed real.
Yeah, and if somebody says that happened, it's like, okay, honestly, it's like She Who Must Not Be Named. When the whole thing started, like for me, as a survivor myself, like I wanted to believe her.
Okay, Kim.
I think a lot of people do, though.
The president hangs around nothing but lawyers. He should know that there's people that falsely accuses other.
But here,
why would you? But Lewis, why would you logically think?
He barely moved, but he ran to Twitter to support a liar.
Lewis.
No, I'm sorry.
Well,
Lewis, hang on. I'm serious. Why would people assume that it would be a lie?
Hold on. Can I add one point?
The audacity of that is crazy.
And there's one point you're missing,
never
Lewis.
lied before?
You're missing one point. Hold on. He made it about the MAGA wearing. When Jussie did that, you guys got to go back to that period. It was a very political time, and Jussie decided to say, "Oh, they were wearing," I forget the lines, but he made it about Trump at a time when everyone was fighting Trump, and I don't want to fight about Trump right now. But of course, Biden jumped on a celebrity screaming about MAGA, and I understand what Lewis is getting at. There was more than just a hate crime here.
This was he ran to Twitter to assume.
I'm with you, Lewis. I hear what you're saying, because I don't want to get political. I don't like either side.
It's not political,
but it became political, and then both sides used it, and it became this piece like, oh, cool. And then there was a lot of speculation because this was fake. Did other people know this was fake? Was this used as a takedown to make Trump voters look like racist. And I don't want to get into that, but is that what you're? I assume that's what you, because I remember
that's
that
what
was,
I'm saying. That's
that
what
was
I'm saying.
clearly happening.
There's a lot of political people that are crazy right now, especially in this country. They are obsessed. It's a cult, right? They get on a side and they stay there. They don't see the flaws on the other side. It doesn't help that a leader who's really slow, very slow person talking and thinking, ran to Twitter and took
well, he probably didn't do it. Someone on his team
really
did
think
it.
He tweeted.
He doesn't. You think he knows how to tweet, Lewis? Come on.
Worse, bro. So who is it?
But
who
come on,
for him?
let's not talk about presidents. Let's not go there, Lewis. But I hear what you're saying in that they made this political. Go ahead, Pascal. Let's let let's let our guest chime in.
Let's let our
guest this dumpster fire.
It's all good. No. I think that what happened is it was a tidal wave, right? Information came out that 2 men jumped him wearing MAGA hats, saying this is MAGA country, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then that stuff came out. All that information came out, and I think that a lot of people. Because I don't want to go down that, down the political route, but there was a lot of people, just like what happened with that woman, went straight to hashtag BLM or hashtag, like what they did with hashtag Me Too. They went and attacked Mr. Depp. I can say Depp, right?
Yeah, so we can say Johnny all day long. We support him.
They attacked JD, right? Because of what they received, right? Same thing with what happened with the lie that he created, that Jussie created. He put it out there saying the MAGA hats and all that stuff, and then clearly a large majority of the black community, including other, I guess, white liberals, I don't know, other people in the world that have on his side. But on his side,
Kamala Harris was a very vocal and a friend of his, which is kind of important to mention, because I understand why this debate happened, because there's a lot of attacks all the time. Why did they spotlight this one? You know what I mean? Like, this was a pop culture celebrity moment to take out the right side from the left. There was absolute calculation and decisions into using this attack as a way to win a PR battle that was also being fought, right?
Right. There's also a lot of people that were feel exactly what you just said. There were a lot of people that feel some type of way about number 45 during that time. However you think of it, that's just the honest truth. So they hear MAGA hats. There was already Karen videos coming out the whoop.
Oh my God, the Karen phase! I forgot about the Karen video phase.
It still exists. But anyway, people were quick to jump on Jussie's side because of the narrative that was already being built. And of course, with all that information, all that stuff, you're going, oh my God, why would they try to wrap a noose around this guy's neck? Why would they throw bleach on him? Why would they scream MAGA country? So on and so forth. So yes, a lot of people jumped, even some of his co-stars from Empire jumped to his side quickly, because I feel that people innately want to be good and want to be on the side of fighting for the atrocities and the injustices that happen in this country, right? So this is what happened, and this is the narrative that he created. So yes, he created the political narrative by
Pascal,
putting
what I'm
MAGA
saying,
and all that stuff. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is because people want to, look, here's the deal.
Yeah,
we expect that from the Hollywood people. We expect that from regular people. But when people that we elect that are supposed to be better than us, and we know they're not, they run and they talk to a mass amount of normies. Normies meaning the older woman, older man who doesn't go on and watch Empire or whatnot, and they start filling a narrative to get a vote. And they divide people, man. They just create more Smolletts on both sides. And it's like we elect these people to be better than us, and at least take a step back. He could have always tweeted about the MAGA thing. He could have been done a month later.
Right.
But it seems like he knee-jerk reaction. And this is a dude with with a button that says nuclear missile
all right,
launching.
I'm stopping. No more of that. No one, as I said in the comments, no one cares which president you like. Just stop talking about it. It is what it is. People are allowed to vote for they will vote for.
But I do think that a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon quick.
They jumped on the
Didn't
bandwagon.
step back
we
and
there we
find
go.
out the
Perfect.
information first. But then the information came out, and now everybody was like, "Ooh, damn, never mind." So we're gonna stand back and not say anything. I retract what I said, or those tweets suddenly disappeared because they go, "Damn, it's all been a lie."
If I was. Like, I'm an actor, a director, a writer, a creator.
It was on Mighty Ducks in 92.
You know what I'm saying? Like, quack, motherfuckers.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The ego of this guy. Like, are you kidding me?
I don't even remember him.
I know. It's like, literally, he's like, his claim to fame is Mighty Ducks, and he was a kid.
To do something, it would not be to look like a victim. It would be to look like, if anything, someone strong.
Now, he just pulled that woman that shall not be named. If I were to leak it to TMZ, I would have never done it like that. I would have done it like this. Because, I'm calculated too. He just literally told us, oh, well, I could have done it this better. That is such a tell. That is such a tell from a liar and a calculated liar who's trying to be like, well, and honestly, I think both the woman we should not name and Jussie are saying that now because that's the obvious answer. But they didn't do that because they were like, well, this is more believable. And so they're trying to change it and go with this over-exaggerated version of it to try and be like, see, if I could, I would have done this. Anybody who says that to me, it's a massive red flag.
And I found myself being like, yo, but I'm strong, but I fought back and all of that type of stuff. And it was like, it actually doesn't make you more or less of a human being, regardless of what happened. And so we just didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what was coming. We didn't know who was going to lie. There was just nothing to point us to that until it happened. And we were just dumbfounded. And looking back, there were so many things that we could have done to intercept it, but we just didn't know what was coming.
So Pascal said it great in the beginning, but it's like you didn't drop any Carfax. There's no receipts. There's nothing here. And he keeps just talking broadly, right, about like, we didn't know. And everyone's just, who would have known who was going to come lie?
Circle jerk.
But it's like, drop a receipt.
This is the carrot
he
style.
can't. I imagine he can't say these things, right? Because if he does, then there's probably serious defamation that he'd be at risk at if he were to just blatantly lie about this guy lied and this cop lied and this person lied. So he just is being very vague. And again, I'm really mad and it's a huge knock on Sway. You didn't push him. Who? Because it was clear this interview was a puff piece. This interview wasn't an actual interview, and that's just really frustrating, despicable. And Sway's giving a platform to continue to lie without any pushback and just try to help his narrative, I guess, as a friend. And you'll learn later. So is the co-host, the lady, and Sway was on Empire. They're going to reveal the incestuous Hollywood reason why Sway's universe is biased because Jussie, I guess, paid them to be on television. So, oh, cool, you're going to hook me up? Well, I'll hook you up, is really what's happening here, which to me is just really disgusting. But yeah, how do you not push back on that? What receipts, Jussie?
We're gonna move on, but you said something really interesting because I used to get on the radio. I had to tell you I was perplexed of why so much attention is being paid. I minimize it to this actor, right? You're more than that, but why? I'm just why is
the whole world? You used to say.
I used to say the whole world is coming down on this guy, on this actor. When we got so much other things we could be concerned about.
You know what bothers me?
I mean, that's a weird reveal that he's doing, right? Because he's like trying to just say everything Jussie did wasn't that big of a deal. And
it was.
It was a huge deal, Sway. That sounds so idiotic.
You can see where he stands. Like instantly, he's already believing the hype. He already believes the BS that Jussie has been spouting out. That he believes that all this stuff went down. That these two muscle-bound dudes, that one of them he had a relationship with, was not involved with doing anything. That none of these breadcrumbs that have came out, none of these pieces of evidence do not, in his mind, add up at all. And so obviously he's sitting there going, oh, well, there's so many other things. What about climate change? What about recycling stuff? You know what I mean? And it's like, no, this is just as important as anything else.
Pascal, do you believe I'm not familiar with the Sway. He has a great presentation on the station right there.
Yeah.
Do you think he really believes them, or he just wants the views? Or
no. Honestly, like you jumped on a little bit later. But in the very beginning, there's clearly like there's camaraderie going on here. There's a friendship between them. Like this is like as if they're just having some, doing a couple lines and drinking some Heinekens together. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Sway, but clearly they are tight. And the whole team, the whole Sway team is tight with Jussie. This is the only reason why he is on this show. It's not like he's on. I'm trying to think of like he ain't on Good Morning America. He ain't sitting across from Savannah Guthrie getting hit with some questions. You know what I'm saying? He is in an echo chamber right now that all is Team Jussie.
Yep.
Yeah, I hate that argument. Why don't there's other important things to talk about. It's like you could scratch your head and rub your belly at the same time. You could do a couple things. You could take on a couple issues.
Hell yeah.
So there you go.
And there's a few more interesting portions, but.
Nice to meet you, by the way, Lewis.
Oh, nice to meet you, man. I'm a big fan. I always watch your videos.
Quit lying. But thank you.
I'm not lying, bro.
What's your favorite video, Lewis?
Appreciate it, homie.
Huh?
What's your favorite video of his?
Pop Quiz Hot Shot.
Hey, real talk. That's why I know him by. I don't have a specific real one video I watch over and over again.
You watch them all. That's the right answer.
Is real talk, huh?
Yeah, it's a real answer. You watch them all.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
His slogan. Like, look what I got, ladies and gentlemen.
Aww.
I finally got it.
You guys are so cute on that shirt.
Yeah. We got Steph's big gob. We got Signore's big gob. And we got me eating ice cream. Very realistic.
What kind of ice cream were you having that day, actually?
I don't remember.
Curious.
I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember. Because it's Vegas. We're just walking around grabbing whatever we see. You know what I mean? So, Pascal, how long have you been YouTubing?
Oh, wow. Okay, left turn. I have been
We're waiting for Andy.
I see now. I've been YouTubing for since the pandemic. Sorry, not the panty. The pandemic. So
I haven't seen those panty videos. Now that you mention them, where are they? Not just kidding.
I was going to say, when you see it, you'll never unsee it ever again. But yeah, I've been doing it for a little over, I guess over 2 years now, or something like.
Nice, man.
Yeah. But yeah.
So you've enjoyed quick success, man. That's good. That's good.
Thanks, man. Well, when you've got nothing else better to do but do videos and talk about how crazy the world is and laugh a lot, then it seems that people are enjoying it too. So I'm like, okay, I'm with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel like Kim's channel has grown massively, and
I know
it's also a thing like, yeah, sure, we could have videos up, but if we're not logical, like your takes are very logical and fair and stuff, and you still have your opinion. It seems like this guy right here interviewing Smollett doesn't, like, he's kind of selling out a little bit.
Yeah.
And Kim stays true to her form no matter what, and I think that's why you guys are growing so fast. So
yeah,
you gotta bring it.
All you could be is yourself. That's all you've got at the end of the day. So
exactly.
Why bother trying to do anything else?
Yeah, it's weird because he doesn't.
I think he doesn't want
to. I don't think Jussie wants to be himself. That's what's so weird, right? He wants to play a million personas. And
love how you segued there, Andy.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
Good segue.
But it's true, and we're watching it in person. But whether he's even saying, "Am I gay?" or "I'm not," like he's sort of frustrated with his own gayness he's implying, and he wants to be part of the black community and be that his first choice. But dude, just be Jussie. Like, quit worrying about everybody else and pleasing the communities. And clearly, you need to focus on you, dude. And I think that would help him tremendously if he stops trying to speak for so many and learn how to speak just in here, because he's just really insecure in my eyes, is really what the ultimate's happening here. And that's why he got, I think, lost so deeply in the woods here.
He did this. What bothers me more than that, those people are irrelevant to me at this point. Fuck them. They're going to believe what they're going to believe.
That's us. He's basically saying to us, fuck us.
Bothers me more the people that are saying, that will say something like, well, even if he did do it, X, Y, Z. I think what you have to realize is that for someone like me that represented my entire career, but more importantly, my entire life, along with my family.
Notice he said career first.
Represented social justice, represented equity and equality and all of these types of things.
All shields he's now trying to wield to deflect from the reality.
We're fighters, and we fight with love so deeply, and this is what we preach because it's what we believe. It's like finding out that someone is exactly the opposite of who they claim to be. And so if I had done this, I'd be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I don't think that is that's not really questionable. So
yeah, no wonder we're all mad at you, because you were guilty of it. That's what's so troubling, is you were found guilty. This wasn't like we're, and just saying it on social media, right? It's like a judge found you, took all the evidence, they did it, they found you guilty of it, and so much so that you served time, but then somehow got out early on a.
But people yes, there's a lot of other stuff happening, but that would be really, and again, it's something that I wanted to say. If I had done something like this, it would mean that I stuck my fist in the pain of Black Americans in this country for over 400 years. We're not even talking about in Africa, because that's an even deeper, larger conversation. It would mean that I stuck my fist in the fears of the LGBTQ community all over the world.
Do you think he stuck his fist in those communities, Pascal?
He's straight. Yes.
Sad, man. It's sad, bro.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah.
Sad.
He not only just a fist, the whole knife, and just twisted it. Okay. And that's what's. Again,
I'm gonna say the whole body. Moment. I think he's in there, and then he crawled in.
He dropped a bomb. He nuked it.
It's like a turd.
And the fact that he is where Boo at though. But anyway, the thing is you look at this and it's like, hey, you see again, he is hiding behind these labels, hiding behind it. Like you just said, Andy, holding up a shield and trying to deflect this BS, or actually all this judgment, all this ridicule, all these questions by just sitting there going, oh, I can't believe, if I did that, then I'd be, sticking a fist into this movement or that movement. Forget all that BS. You done mucked up. Okay. One thing I do want to say though too, really quick. Sorry, it was just something that popped in my head during this thing. He's been known as being a philanthropist, of being very giving, very nice guy, so on and so forth. That does not mean that a nice guy who is giving and gives back to the community and does all these things does not mean that that person can't mess up royally, can't make a gigantic mistake. And this is the problem. He made a gigantic mistake, and lucky for him, people are still, siding by the side of, leaning by the side of who he was before this act. And that's why he's able to sit down with Sway without any judgment, because of his years of being a nice guy. But the fact that he is using this, he's using it as a shield, he's using it as a sword, the lies and the labels and all that stuff, it's keeping him in work. I mean, shoot, he's still making movies and stuff. Which,
yeah, that was I'm glad you brought it, because it's like he lost nothing. And look, I don't believe in cancel culture, but this guy was found guilty. This isn't cancel culture. This is a guy who was found guilty of terrible actions, of a hoax, a fraud behavior. And BET Plus is like, yeah, we got you, but dude, come put your movie on.
Come on, because he at least is leaning on those hashtags. He's leaning on those labels.
Yeah.
Because there are people out here that are extremely biased within those labels. And they're going to sit there and go, like Amber, like that woman. Okay?
That was the first time it was said. Damn it.
I was so good so far. But like her, she's going to have a team of people, a world, a community that's going to sit there and go, come on over. Because we're still on the side of Me Too. So we got you, girl. Come on over. You want to be in L Word? Come on over. You want to be in, this next movie, blah, 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 for it's going straight to streaming? Come on over. She's going to be fine. Okay? Put out a book. A certain demographic's going to read it, because she has people that are still stuck in those worlds that aren't really thinking for themselves, unfortunately. They don't think outside of the box. So when we look at something like Jussie, same thing. There are people that are still, that no matter what, it's whatever hashtag he might be holding up as a shield, that will sit there and die on the sword, die on that hill, Even if that person, even if the proof comes out that it's a lie, they will sit there and go, no, I'm still dying on that hill for him.
Yep.
For the cause. And that's why you have something like BET Plus or any of these other companies that are willing to side with them, because they're catering to that particular hashtag, to that particular bias. It's interesting. It's just very, very interesting. So lucky for Jussie, right?
Lucky Jussie. All right, I think there's one little part here.
I'm not that motherfucker. Never have been.
You are that motherfucker.
I never have been. So I said, just trust me. Even though I told you I'm not being honest this time, just trust me.
Didn't need to have some sort of rise in his career. I was on the up and up. I was coming from New York, from doing a table read for my dream role in a Broadway show. I was
such a big deal. I'm so big. Look how big I am. My career is the best.
To the autobiography, the authorized autobiography of Alvin Ailey. I had just
these things he's saying. Hello, dude, you weren't Brad Pitt. I mean, you're not Denzel Washington. Like, well, of
you know what
course
it kind of reminds
bigger.
me of? When Alec Baldwin did that interview and he was talking about the incident, and then at the end of it, he's like, I just want to go on with my life. I was going to work with Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Like,
the one time he cried. Like when I worked with Meryl. That's what makes these people cry. It's like, oh my God. Dude, you what are you talking about? You were so far down compared to I could spend an hour listing actors that are more famous than you. Of course you could have gotten bigger. Of course it was helping you. If it had worked, right? If it had worked, wouldn't his stock have risen? Don't you think he would have gotten more roles in Hollywood if it was truthful and he was like, the hero, just Jussie?
Maybe for one film. Maybe for one, and then when it depends on the box
dude,
office.
Marvel would have hired him at that point. You nuts, Lewis? He would be in Star Wars. He would be in everything.
Yo,
you think he'd be in Star Wars?
Yeah.
There'd be a book. Okay.
There'd be a book.
Then there'd be a Lifetime made-for-TV movie. You feel me? There'd be a bunch of stuff, and then he'd be on a whole bunch of interviews and all that. Before Ellen was, left and retired, he would have been on Ellen, doing funny pranks with people. I mean, they would have made him like the belle of the ball type thing, right? They would have hoisted him on their shoulders type thing. That's what I think. If this was true,
I still think the book could come. The book could come and
Oh, it would be like if it really happened, this is what I would have done, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, just a book. I mean, right here, he's just doing the interview like if everything happened the way he said it did. So he could just put out a book like that. I mean, what's the repercussion of him doing this interview? There's none, even though he was found guilty or whatever in court. You could just make a video saying, well, this is what happened, and it's the complete bullcrap, and add a few chapters and call it a day, right?
Yeah. He would have just said come out with his own bleach brand.
Yeah, jeez.
I'm sorry. That would be
hilarious.
I
think he's trying to sell these hats, honestly. Look at these things.
Oh, my God. That would be brilliant.
All of these things that I was creating, there would be no reason for me to do some dumb, corny shit like that.
Then why'd you do it?
People are going to believe what they believe, and what I have to do is I have to keep working.
You have to keep working,
and what I know for sure is every single thing that I auditioned for during that period, I lost. They took it from me. But every single thing that I created myself is being created. Never again will anybody be able to pull my life from under me like a rug.
There you go. Jussie Smollett. Come on, man.
Onward.
That's
Onward. And so right now we play Freedom because you're free right now.
Why you say right now? Damn.
Right now. I mean, that was good because last time I saw you weren't. And now you are. Your stint behind bars, how did you make it through that? What was your saving grace?
God.
Yeah.
And my family.
The 6 days. Oh, the I mean, I'm sure I know it's tough, but come on.
I fasted. I was there for 6.5 days. I fasted for 6.5 days. My lawyer, shout out to Ninye, but he was lying when he said that I was fasting for Lent. I wasn't fasting for Lent. I was fasting because that's what we do in my family. Like, we fast for clarity, I have never in my life, at least in my adult life, been as clear of mind as I was for those 6.5 days. And it was almost like when they told me that I was getting out, what I was doing is I was fasting until I found out whether or not I was going to be in there for those 5.5 months.
Yeah.
Just wanted to know what my life was about to look like. So I was fasting, and I had been prepping, you know, my family, most wonderful human beings. I live and die for those
You got an
people.
amazing family.
Yes,
Let me
you
say
do.
that for the record.
God.
You got
Jake,
an amazing,
Jazz,
Jussie Smollett
Johnny.
got an amazing
Jake,
family.
yeah,
The mom, when I see the
mom.
mom, I'm at attention, like waiting for my
And let me
mission.
tell you something. Mommy don't go nowhere.
Yes.
Mommy is a house cat, okay? But she was like,
What?
watch me stay
Biased,
in LA and
biased.
my baby is in Chicago. Like she did not
So
play.
basically, yeah, our son can do no wrong, and family, you will support the son no matter what. I mean, I think we got the basic gist. I'm kind of getting bored of talking about him. Well, there you go. Another fun show. I don't even know where I decided to trim it, but I did, so it wasn't 4 hours. If you want to watch the full hour show, the full 4-hour show, hit the join button, pick a tier, and join us over as a member over on Popcorn Planet. Appreciate you guys and all you members. And thank you to It's Kim. Thank you to Louis Lecca. Thank you to Steph the Alternate. Pascal will be over there tomorrow. And you can go over to Nerd Report right now if you're watching on the replay. We went over Nerd Report. If you're watching on the replay and it doesn't send you, you can click on one of these. They'll eventually be there too, a video. Or just go to the YouTube channel and pick another one. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy your night. We will see you guys tomorrow here on Popcorn Planet.